The greatest leader of our time has been struck down by the foulest deed of our time. Today, John Fitzgerald Kennedy lives on in the immortal words and works that he left behind. He lives on in the mind and memories of mankind. He lives on in the hearts of his countrymen.
Against his wishes, Johnson had to involve the Attorney General and begin discussions about a presidential commission. Robert Kennedy would not take part in the investigation, but instead his duties were assigned to Nicholas Katzenbach, the second Assistant Attorney General.
President Lyndon Johnson appointed a commission to investigate and report upon the facts relating to the assassination. This panel, headed by then Chief Justice Earl Warren, conducted a 6-month investigation into the death of President Kennedy.
The Warren Commission, charged by President Johnson to find the truth, operated almost entirely in secret. Based in Washington, the commissioners finally came to Dallas. Their spokesman was former CIA Director Allen Dulles. Allen Dulles, director of the CIA, until Kennedy fired him, was one of the commissioners responsible for producing the 26-volume Warren report on the president's assassination.
The most puzzling evidence concerned the amount of shots fired from the Texas School Book Depository. It appeared from the evidence that President Kennedy and Governor Conley were hit by different bullets coming from different directions. If so, more than one assassin was at Dealey Plaza on November 22nd, and Lee Harvey Oswald could not have acted alone. The Warren Commission concluded that both men were wounded by the same bullet, in what has become known as the single bullet theory.
The American media were glowing in their praise of the report that concluded Lee Harvey Oswald was alone responsible. It was only under closer scrutiny that the superficiality of its findings became clear.
That he was shot from the school book depository?
Well, I think we better leave all that, you know, the evidence report will cover all of that, and we'll get into that, but that question might lead to a lot more. And
Earl Warren, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, also came with Commissioner Gerald Ford, a future president. The prime purpose of their visit was to interview Jack Ruby, who had appealed against his sentence. A frightened man, he claimed he could not talk freely in Dallas and begged 8 times to be taken to Washington to testify. The commissioners left, ignoring his pleas.
Everything pertaining to what's happening has never come to the surface.
In September 1964, after a 10-month investigation, the Warren Commission delivered its single-volume report on the assassination of JFK to new President Lyndon Johnson. To no one's surprise, the Commission's principal finding was that the assassination was the work of Lee Harvey Oswald, a 24-year-old ex-Marine taken into custody within 90 minutes of the shooting. This had been a foregone conclusion almost since the day of the assassination. Oswald had been arrested and charged with remarkable speed, and media coverage of the assassination underscored the immediate claims of the Dallas police that Oswald was the assassin and that he had acted alone.
The commission was praised for its diligence and its definitive account of the assassination. Within a few years, however, the report would be seriously attacked by a broad range of independent researchers who questioned the commission's findings, evidence, and procedures. The doubts raised by these critics have remained.